As I said in my last Gintama video, I've been loving the series, from each comedy episode to each serious episode. There's been many entertaining arcs so far in my journey of watching Gintama, but then came along an arc that felt special. It felt like it was levels beyond the past arcs that I had viewed, the 4 Devas arc. Other arcs that I had loved, such as the Yoshiwara and Flames arc and the Red Spider arc, were great and continued to make me love Gintama even more. But the 4 Devas just literally hit different. The direction that was put into these episodes were amazing and the visuals were on point, as this was pretty much the first serious arc we had gotten out of season 2 of Gintama, and they gave us a banger already. I've been hearing that there are even more better arcs past this one, and I'm hyped to see Gintama get even better than something like this. So for today, I'll be talking about the best arc I've seen in Gintama so far, and give my thoughts on the series as I continue season 2. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, hit the like button, turn on bell notifications, and follow my Twitter down below. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Fighting
The 4 Devas arc is pretty much based on lingering promises, gang wars, bonds that are hard to break, and just amazing characterizing. For an introduced character, Jiricho was amazing throughout the whole entire arc, from his backstory development and understanding of things that he couldn't see before. I always love antagonists like these, and Gintama is full of them, with them not just being plain black and white evil, but having a more understandable motive. Jiricho for me is the best one I've seen so far in Gintama. Jiraiya was interesting and it was cool looking into his past with Tsukio, but I think Jiricho was the best antagonist pulled off right now. I've been hearing some things about Takasugi and I can't wait to see more of his appearances because I've seen him only like 10 times. One of the many things this arc is able to excel at is going into the connections of the many characters that were seen in it. The relationship of our main characters, the Yorizuya, was developed really well. Gintoki was currently going out of the loop after his life that he had built up is crumbling apart. The gangs have now targeted Otose and Oddjob's place, and even with that, the district would eventually come apart as well. Gintoki tries to then work alone to put an end to Jiricho's gang by himself and hoping that the rest of his friends would run away and leave him to do the job. But this of course would be his big mistake that this arc shines upon. This mistake of handling the promise he had made to Otose by himself is also seen in Jiricho's case as well, and the arc is able to convey how both Gintoki and Jiricho are similar in many ways but different in other ways as well. This connection they have with Otose and the promises they made to her would serve as a big part in an obstacle they must overcome to develop, and seeing the ways they do it was just great. Gintoki eventually trusts his friends to fight alongside him to aid him in protecting the district, and Jiricho finds his own way in life, other than being chained up to a promise he had made a long time ago, finally reuniting with his daughter properly. I love how this quote made by Jiricho's wife conveys his true character. Once he finishes fighting in the war, he will return, because after all, the one thing he knew how to do was keep his promises. Jiricho's war was still going on as he tried to operate as a gang leader in the Kabuki district to protect it in his own violent way. He had to give up being a human to protect what Otose's husband left behind, even if the town hated him for it. He does eventually return from his war and retires as a gang boss, now resting after he continued to protect what a friend had left behind. Another thing that I loved in this arc was just that one episode that showed Gintoki's vicious rage, episode 211. One of my favorite episodes in Gintama, and it showcased one of my, if not my favorite Gintama moments so far. Gintoki's first meeting with Jiricho, and one that would remain in many people's heads as this moment was unforgettable. We had seen Gintoki lash out like this before when he was up against Jiraiya, but this time it was pretty much a blinded rage that gave him no chance in winning the fight. It was intense and sad, and I don't even think I got hyped over this, as the emotions were everywhere. It was just chilling seeing a bloodied up Otose next to her husband's grave. When Gintoki had seen this, no words came out of his mouth. He used his sword instead to convey the feelings that were gushing inside of him. This is definitely one of my favorite rage scenes in anime and manga, as it didn't even consist of going into some powerful being when the protagonist raged. The protagonist lost in this one. He got destroyed in the fight, but at least he was able to let out the emotions that had bundled up inside of him. It was a blind rage and Gintoki wasn't in his right mind to win, so I wasn't disappointed when he had lost the fight. If he was in his right mind, I'm sure he would have kept the fight up a little longer, but of course no one would be calm after seeing a friend you care about dying in front of your eyes. He just wanted to hurt Jiricho badly and he got that. The music, the atmosphere, the visuals, and especially that iconic black and white shot of Gintoki ready to drive his sword into Jiricho was all done very well in this episode. It had me shaking instead of getting hyped. It was just so shocking seeing Gintoki like this again, but even more aggressive. I wonder how this fight would have gone if Gintoki had a metal sword instead of his wooden one. Maybe he could have killed Jiricho on his first slash. This arc is basically the highlight of Gintama for me so far, and I'm expecting more arcs that are similar in a way that showcases amazing moments, dialogue, and fights that would remain unforgettable. The 4 Devas is what most shonen arcs should be like, and I think it's now currently in my top 10 shonen arcs. The tension, the trauma, and the drama all rounded up perfectly in what? 4 episodes of greatness? The ending as well was amazing, with it being paired with the ending song Samurai Heart in the end in the emotional last scene. Gintama is blowing my expectations away. I just can't wait to see more arcs like this one in the future because this one was a 10 out of 10. So that's where I'm gonna end off the video. Hopefully you did enjoy, and if you did, make sure to put down some more video suggestions below so I can pick them for another video. But like always, subscribe if you're new, hit the like button, turn on bell notifications, and follow my Twitter down below. It's been Endless Requiem, peace.